Multiple teams had multiple picks. 5 ended up with 2 first-round picks. Let's see how they did. Or let me open it up to you. Between the Chargers, Raiders, Dolphins, Vikings, 49ers, who did the best with their 2 first-round picks, Chris?
To me, it would be between the Chargers and the 49ers. I think if I had to go between those two teams, that would be the ones that jump out to me. Of course, hey, the Chargers, I look at it, you get a franchise quarterback, and they got a franchise middle linebacker. I mean, Murray was a top 20 talent, really. And the fact that he was there, he's a perfect scheme fit. He's athletic. He's long. He's nitty and he's gritty in between the tackles and tough. He's not your typical Big 12 linebacker. And then the 49ers, Mike, I mean, yes, I know I'm a little biased there, but I know my man Kyle Shanahan a little bit. But I love Javon Kinlaw. So that's amazing that they got him and to get replaced DeForest Buckner. But then also, I know my man Kyle Shanahan thought Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State could be Isaac Bruce in the NFL, and that's why he loved him so much. And they needed the receiver position. As we know, they traded for Emmanuel Sanders. He's gone. They're a little limited there, and now they got a little more depth and a lot more talent at the position.
And when you consider that Kyle Shanahan was a receiver in college, he knows a thing or two about that position.
Yes, he does.
Knows what it takes to be effective. And I like the fact that they made 2 trades last night. They moved from 13 down to 14 and still got the guy they wanted by letting the Buccaneers jump up and get Tristan Wirfs at number 13. So you pick up a 4th-round pick by doing that, a 4th-round pick you didn't have. And then you trade up from 31 to 25 to get Ayuk because apparently they were getting a little nervous that somebody was going to jump on the Brandon Ayuk train. So they give up a little bit to jump up 6 spots and get Ayuk before someone else can grab him, Chris. So I like that. I like that creativity. And now they do have picks. They now have no picks in round 2, 3, and 4 because they gave up the 4th rounder they got from the Buccaneers as part of the package to move up. But still, they got 2 guys that they apparently really wanted. Now, look.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I vividly recall in 2017 when the 49ers got Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster and John Lynch boasted to Peter King that these were 2 of the top 3 players on their board. So you can thump your chest all you want. But if the guys can't play, or in the case of Foster, can't stay out of trouble and get cut, it doesn't matter. Now we got to see if these guys can play. And for as much heat as the Bears get for passing on Patrick Mahomes and taking Mitchell Trubisky, the 49ers did take Solomon Thomas instead of Patrick Mahomes.
No, yeah. I mean, you're right. But, I think they've proven that they can still be pretty good without Patrick Mahomes since they just played him in the Super Bowl.
They'd be better off.
They'd be better.
They don't won the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. They don't won the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. I think that's safe to say.
I think that's safe to say, too. I'm not so sure they would have lost the game last year if they had Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, really. But, I mean, Mike, you're right with all these guys. We're going to see how it plays out. But Kinlaw certainly has big-time ability. And Ayuk, to your point, Mike, you're spot on with Kyle Shanahan. He's an ex-wide receiver. He sees the game through the wide receiver's eyes. He's been around Julio Jones and Andre Johnson in Houston and, of course, a number of other great receivers. He's got a great eye for talent. I always bow to him and his expertise at the wide receiver position. He really liked this Ayuk kid. And I think there was a lot of teams hot on him towards the end of the first round. And I think that's probably what made Lynch and Shanahan go, wait, is this guy going to still be here at 31? Let's go get the guy we really want. We, accumulated a few more picks, like you said, and they made the play to get the guy that ultimately they saw as one of the best receivers in the draft.
The Raiders gave us a little bit of a surprise, making Henry Ruggs III the first receiver taken at 12th overall. But then Damon Arnett, the Ohio State cornerback at number 19. A lot of people were head scratching on that one, and he didn't show up on many, if any, mock drafts. And here's the thing. It was kind of a Cleveland Farrell moment for the Raiders. And if Farrell had worked out last year and been great, we'd say, oh, here's Mayock again, pulling a rabbit out of the hat that no one else was paying attention to. Because of Farrell, we're now going to look at Damon Arnett and say, is this year's version of the guy that they reach for who ends up not panning out?
I certainly think it's a reach. I mean, and you're right. I mean, last year they killed it in the draft, except with that first pick, in my opinion. And, when you're the number 4 pick and you draft a pass rusher and he's not on the field in pass rushing situations throughout most of the season, that's a little concerning. Damon Arnett is a real good player. I mean, certainly a guy that I looked at as like a top 45, top 50 pick in the draft. Did I think this was too early? Yes. But, one thing I think we saw a little last night was I think the NFL is putting more value on a little of these nickel corners than maybe even myself or others in the media are giving it credit for. I mean, we saw two basically nickel corners at the end of the first round with the Vikings and the Dolphins making their pick who went off the board. And I think obviously they need help in pass defense there in Oakland. And they saw a guy that I think can fill that void and fill that need. You are playing in the AFC West and you got to deal with, the Kansas City Chiefs. But, Mike, it's like I would never draft a corner who runs 4.57 at the combine. I wouldn't. It's like drafting a nose tackle who weighed in at 260 at the combine. It's just a little concerning. There's things I like. He's really explosive in short areas, Mike. Like he can really drive on the ball and break on the ball that way. But like, is he going to be able to cover, Tyreek Hill when he runs a deep route? No, Tyreek Hill is going to fly by him. In fact, anybody that went vertical on this kid, he can be a holder and a PI, pass interference type of guy too. So yeah, this was a little of a head scratcher for me for sure.
Dolphins had their 3 first-round picks last night. Tua Tagovailoa at number 5, Austin Jackson, the USC tackle at 18, and then Auburn cornerback Noah Igbenogany at number 30. What did you think of what they did with the 3 picks they had?
Well, my thoughts on Tua, and, say what you want. I mean, I like Tua, that. Some people think I'm a hater on Tua. Okay, we'll see. We'll just see how that plays out. I did not think he was worth the number 5 pick, and, of course, with the injury history, no. Austin Jackson is really intriguing, Mike, because he has all the tools to be in that conversation for the top tackle in the draft. It was an underwhelming last season for him at USC, but I do give him the benefit of the doubt. He had a serious family issue. He donated bone marrow. As anybody watching the draft last night, donated it to his sister. I think that probably did affect his play, and I think Miami probably has the inside track on some of that information and felt good about that, but has the tools, the size, the feet, the power, everything to be really special. It's just last year was not his best year on film.
Well, the Dolphins have a long way to go, but the door is open with the Patriots losing Tom Brady, and they signed 10 free agents this year in veteran free agency. They are trying their damnedest to turn it around. I wonder how long it will be before Tua's on the field because they like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is capable of playing well in stretches. I'm going to be curious to see what their plan is for putting Tua on the field because, look, the time is always now in the NFL.
Exactly.
If Tua can show that he's healthy and if he can get ready, then maybe he ends up supplanting Ryan Fitzpatrick. And also, for the second straight year, you've got Josh Rosen supplanted potentially by a top 5 draft pick. And we haven't talked about him at all, but he probably will be on the move again somewhere in the aftermath of the draft, Chris.
I would think so. Yep. A team that's looking for a good backup to maybe hit a home run to say, hey, this guy could be a starter maybe someday for us. Let's bring him in. I think that could be a very real possibility. And, hey, I'm never mad at a team if they think this quarterback's their guy. You go and do it. Yeah, I don't think I would have done it, but I'm not mad at them for that thought. And then, Mike, just the last thing, because you talked about their free agency, right? Byron Jones, they signed Xavier Howard last year as one of the best corners in football. They got 2 of the top 5 or 6 corners on the roster, and then they drafted another in the league, and then drafted another one. That's Patriots Southeast right there. They're trying to take the reign for the best corners and best secondary of all football.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.